Watch Wars.
Welcome to this edition of Watch Wars. What do we have on the table today? Cartier baby, and JLC. Wait, what is this? How did this get here? What is this? What is this? Oh, it's a book. How many? 1,001 watch designs. How cool is that? This beautiful Cartier Basculante Mecanique 2390 manual wind is indeed my favorite dress watch. And when I bought it several years ago, way before those prices went nuclear, it was more or less a placeholder for the JLC sitting on the right. This is the Reverso Tribute Duo 2016, reference Q3908420, which was hilariously overpriced back then and was very much overpriced up until recently. Now, there's been quite a bit of news about how JLC is jacking up their prices, which kind of gave me the cue that I should stay on the hunt. I periodically hunted it, could never find them in my price range, and then one popped. She has a couple little minor condition issues, like the strap has a little bit of a wear on it near the lug, and the case has a little bit. The case is not perfectly polished, but when I finally found one in my price range, shout out to Ticking Time Home. Although it'd be really funny if he did pronounce it homie. I don't think he does. But he gave me a great price, great service, so happy to recommend him to you. I had to jump on it. And this JLC is more or less a exit watch for me from in the dress category. I can't picture desiring a different dress watch that is greater than that. And the real question is, now that I have it, do I still need the Cartier Basculante? Good question. We're going to see about that at the finish line when we get to the market value, because this is a squirrely one as far as market value is concerned. Let's put some numbers up on the board, see what we are working with here. These watches are very similar in some ways, certainly design aesthetic, but there's basically two watches over here and one over here. The diameter, which is actually the horizontal distance across the case, pretty similar. The lug to lug, a little bit bigger on the JLC, but the height, massive. I'll take these off the cushions in a minute here, and we'll have a better look at that. Ugg width over here, no water resistance for either of them. And they're both manual wind, which means I won't have to keep changing the hands back to 1010 as we go throughout the watch war. Love them both. But do I need them both? Probably not. And now that I have this one, for which this one was a placeholder, do I still need this one? Not sure. We're going to find out in a hot minute. All right, the criteria. We've got 25 aspects to review over the course of the exterior, interior, movement, and market. There's always going to be a market component to my reviews because I want you to get the most watch for your money, or the most watches for your money, whichever the case may be. Jumping straight into the exterior, they're both on gorgeous leather straps, but the Cartier is going to win the point for strap because the Cartier strap is padded and it just feels better to me on my 6.5 inch wrist. Come on, JLC. I should make a deduction on the JLC for this clasp. Ultimately, it's a tie on the clasp because they're both good. They both have that rounded type clasp. This is a traditional deployant. This is a double deployant. And it seems to always pinch me. But the strap itself, a little bit thinner, both very, very high quality. But on the strap itself, that's going to Cartier. The bezel, there is, upside down, Cartier. Going turbo. There is no bezel. There is no bezel insert, so those are a draw. They both have sapphire crystal, so that's 4 draws at the onset. Now the case, kind of tough because this has the unusual case movement, the flipper thing, but the point is going to Cartier, and here's why. If you can, come on gloves, you get a little more value out of this case in that you could position this and set it on your nightstand as a desk clock, say if you're at the hotel and traveling or whatnot. So the point for case is going to the Cartier. Now the case back point is going to go to the JLC. Why? Because it's got an entirely second watch on its case back. And okay, so JLC Reverso 101, how to actuate this mechanism. And if you don't open your Reverso correctly, you will get some hate mail from Kurt. And he's the one who taught me about how to do this. So you push it from the left side till this back part is just about halfway through. Then you flip it over and then push it in from the left side. What a lot of people seem to do, let's take a look at that beautiful second watch side. Got a day-night indicator. Oh, I don't know, technically a GMT, Kurt. What a lot of people do is they'll start from position 1. They'll push it all the way out. Heavens to Betsy, heavens to Murgatroyd, please don't do that. And then slap it back in. That's a sure way how to destroy your JLC, your Cartier, your JLC Reverso mechanism and those ball bearings. And the nice thing about this one is you change that second time zone with this little doohickey here, this little switch, and it goes ching, 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 and moves it into, it changes the time on the second watch face on the back. So the case is going to the Cartier. Kind of a tight one there, because this is such an incredible piece of design engineering. The case back, we already said, going to the JLC. Now the crown and the crown guards. This crown on here is a chore. Getting to it is easy enough, but winding it is just a bit of a bear. This one is far easier to wind, so the crown point is going here, but the crown guards clearly going over here. You can hardly get better protection here. So what you have to do to wind this thing is you have to get it like that, and then you have to get your 2 fingers in there and kind of a chore, kind of a bear. Since we're looking at it, let's look at the case back. Somewhat comically, and as it was featured in my review of this watch, sharing this watch on TGV's collector reviews, I got this watch pre-inscribed with the initials PB on the back, and those are not my initials. But whenever someone asks, I just tell them, oh, it reminds me to do my personal best. Now, I could probably have that ground out, but I kind of don't want to. It's also in case there's a Mrs. Hobby of ours one day, because this is more or less, these are both unisex watches. This one is a little bit larger, so a little more masculine. This one is truly unisex. Boy or girl, a man or a woman could wear this. And, you know, you get the missus, and I'll just set it up very early on in the relationship. Oh, one day, baby, you're going to be my princess bride. And then, hopefully, you know, who am I kidding? She's not going to watch these videos. None of my family watches my videos, so she'll never know. She'll never know this even happened. So, baby girl, if you're out there, you are my princess bride. But seriously, come find me. To the more traditional exterior items, the diameter, this one is a little bit smaller, just a little bit smaller. The height, this one wins, landslide. The lug width versus an UGG width. Of course, Cartier's going to get this one. No water resistance. Don't take these anywhere near the dishes. And weight-wise, this is quite a bit less weight-wise as well. So, looks like Cartier is taking the back 5 of the exterior analysis. Moving in to the interior, the dial. Giving the point to Cartier. Why? Because that Cartier dial with those Roman numerals is an absolute classic. Yes, this is beautiful. Yes, this has 2 dials, so maybe it should win based on that account. But these Roman numerals are the hallmark of the Cartier brand, and so absolutely gorgeous. Now the rehot. There isn't really a rehot on either, but this one has a minute track going around, which is almost near the rehot, so I'm going to just narrowly give that point to the JLC. There's no loom on either, so that's a draw. Handset. While these hands are classic, there's simply more hands on this one. So there's like 5 hands, there's like 6 hands on this one. So giving the point to the JLC on the hands. As we go even further interiorly, looking at the movement. Now, both of these movements are great. However, there's 2 movements in the JLC. And this is the watchmaker's watchmaker, so point JLC. Power reserve, they both have 42 hours, so that is a drop. Complications. Clear winner. There are no complications over here. We've got 2 watches over here and a day-night indicator on the back, so point to here. Service cost. I anticipate that getting this Cartier service, either one of these is going to have to go back to its manufacturer, right? Or probably. I don't know. Maybe we'll see if one of my guys could work on it. But in the event they do have to go back to manufacturing, 2 movements here, 1 movement here, I figure the service cost will be easier on the Cartier. Market. The market value. Kind of a weird one. These are going well north of 10 grand here. I bought it so far under that years ago. I bought this one for a quarter of the price I paid for this, and now this one is worth a quarter or a third more than this. So hilarious. So pricing, surprisingly, the JLC is the winner on the price category. Value, if you were to get either of these at the same or near price point, clearly you're getting more value from the JLC. You're just getting more watch. Lastly, resale. These are going up and up and up, and I can't for the life of me figure out why. Yes, it's a great watch, and they're not making any more of them. They're still making Reversos, albeit not this one. This is the 2016. But this one is going to go up and up, and the irony is I'm probably going to have to sell this one day, and when I do, not only will it have paid for this, but I will actually make money. I'll get a Reverso and make money, so I would be really rather a fool for not taking advantage of the resale value. Drum roll, please. Well, no surprise if you were following along, the Cartier is the winner. I'm somewhat surprised by that, but it certainly is pretty close, 10-8. I think that the uniqueness of being able to position this upwards vertically and sit it on a nightstand if traveling makes this the standout. That particular aspect, plus it is quite a bit thinner. We're going to see them on wrist in a second. It's only like a third, or I'm sorry, 50%. What is it? A third? Gosh, what is my math? It's not 50%. It's a third thinner than this. You know what? I was never good with percentages. Thinner, but it almost looks half as thin when you put it up like this. And this UGG width, gosh, JLC, what were you thinking? Taking a page out of Seiko's playbook with that 19mm lug width. But enough yapping. Let's get them on wrist. Ba-bam. Cartier Basculante Mecanique 2390 manual on my 6.5-inch wrist. Wears like a dream. Wears like a peach. Beautiful. Absolutely epically gorgeous. And that strap. I'm so impressed with that strap. And a double ba-bam. JLC Reverso, 6.5-inch wrist, long lead. The thing about Reversos is always try them on in store, or try one that is close in size to the one you want in store, and make a note of those measurements, because this has the golden ratio Fibonacci sequence, and the lug to lug is legit. The lug to lug on square rectangular watches makes them wear a little bit larger than one might think, even though it's a dress watch, even though it is relatively thin-ish. You're going to want to make sure you do that because it is deceptive. The actual Reverso I thought I wanted, based on just looking at it, the pictures online with that gorgeous moon phase complication at 6 o'clock, I went to try it on. Gigantor. Could not have worn it, and if I hadn't done that and just bought it randomly, which I sometimes do, I would have regretted it immensely. So I did a size comparison for this one, which was the one I initially always wanted, and I was like, yeah, we can go ahead with that. So we also see that unique, not guilloche, but that engraved pattern there. Bring it halfway. Do. It's surprising this one didn't win. It's got 2 watches in one. It's a real conundrum. If I had a buyer for that Mecanique, I'd be in a real pickle trying to figure out if I should sell it, but I would have to, right? Right? Let's get them both on wrist. We'll do the live Castro because I don't know if this is even going to go. Oh, there it is. It's getting on there. The silliest Castro that there ever was. You really can't go wrong with either of these. It just so happens that this is just not approachable anymore. And I did get a discount because it had the engraving on the back. So that's why I don't mind watches with engravings. It just depends on how goony the engraving is. Like if it's something silly or stupid, that's less desirable. But I need to do an episode about engraved watches because I have several. And I bought several over the years. And if you can use anything to leverage a discount, I advocate for it. All right, JLC and the Cartier. This has been your Watch War, and your winner is the Cartier. Hope that wherever you are in this wonderful, beautiful hobby of ours, that you are blessed, that you're having some fun enjoying your watches. And thanks for coming along on the ride. If you ever want to talk watches, hit me up, slide into my DMs on the Insta. I love to talk watches. All right, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Pick up a book. 1001 Watch Designs, Volume 1. We've got line art, oil paintings, steampunk, and even super duper realistic ones. Ones that you could probably put on your wrist today. It's a good bit of fun and a great way to share your support. Thanks for coming along on the ride.